Good night, good night, good night. A late live we are having because I was in orientation all day. All day too. So that's why we're having a late live all day. We had the orientation was from 8 to what? 8 to 5. While orientation, you was there. So yeah, that orientation that took forever, child. Anyway, so that's why we're having a late live like this. So good night, everybody. Good night, everybody that's here already. Good night, everybody that's going to tune in and watch later. So thank you for coming through, Mystery Girl, Life with Belle, and Isabella. So what we're going to talk about, if you saw the thumbnail, we're going to talk about Amber Rose. She posted something on her story. The Shade Room had posted it. I believe she posted it because she was on some type of, I think the show is called College Hill. And um, I don't know if they were talking about, because they were, they just put the snippet of they put a snippet of right before they had the altercation, right before she had the altercation with Joseline Hernandez, this one lady who was on a reality show, and then she's like executive producer on another show on Zeus. So the lady was saying, asking her, well, Jocelyn was asking her, oh, why you don't want to be black and stuff like that. And like she was like provoking her. She was provoking her and telling her, oh, why you don't want to be black? You know what you really want to be. You want to be a white girl. And then it seemed like what her name was, Amber Rose was just gonna walk off, probably go cry or leave the set, but she happened to walk, and then she, you know, put hands on Jocelyn and they started tussling it up. And then after that, she posted this. That's what she posted. What's in my thumbnail? That's what she posted because she was attacking her. She was talking about her being supposedly black and not wanting to identify as black, but she really want to be a white girl. Because I believe she has a white mother, Jocelyn, and then her dad is Puerto Rican. So according to that, they would not consider that to be black. That's why she would say race. And as you see, I had a somebody that says in the comment of that shade room post, they was like, oh, what y'all gonna understand, a mixed race is a race of its own because you're not black or you're not white, because that's the conversations that's having online, that if you have a parent, if you're one parent that is black and the other parent that's probably maybe white or Hispanic or some other race, then you are not really black. You're mixed or you're biracial or racially ambiguous. That's what people on specifically social media. There's some people out there in society that may think that. So she posted, um, you know, if you say, "Oh, I'm black," then people tell you, "Oh, you don't know the black experience. You're not black." Usually, people tell you, say, "No, you're not black because you're mixed. You don't have both of your parents are not black." And then the other part is, "Oh, okay, I'm white," and white people say, "Shut up. No, you're black." And then she said that the person says they're mixed, and then people say pick a side, and he's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can't win, and you whoever win with society. That's why you need to know who you are. You need to know who you are in this life. And I remember when I did the Queen of Spades video, that I didn't even realize that was gonna, get as much views as it did. But that's what I was mentioning. I was like, okay, you most of the time, some of the interracial relationships, they are not founded upon genuine feelings. It's not that the person was genuinely attracted to the person. Sometimes the person go with them because they're frustrated with their own race. Sometimes they go with them because they think that's the only way for them to have beautiful kids and stuff like that. Or it's to stick it to their own race and say, look, I don't need y'all no more. It's never founded upon genuine. It's never genuine. And then you can tell because when they have, if kids are produced in this union, they so busy showing off, they look at our relationship, they do not focus on the children's identity. And this is why we have the kids are confused because they don't know who they are, because the parents or the parent didn't tell them, okay, if you're going to raise your child mixed, okay, you're mixed, you're mixed. You have a black parent, or you have a white parent, or maybe you have a white parent and a Hispanic parent, or they're gonna raise them as black, or maybe raise them as Hispanic. They really don't do that. So when you don't do that, you leave your child open so people can tell them who they are. If they do not have an identity, and when somebody tells you, say, oh, what you is, or they are unable to say this is who they are, this is their race, then people are gonna let them know, this is you. Oh, your mom is white and your dad is black. Okay, then you biracial. You not black. No, but I was raised with my dad and he's black, or I was raised with my mom and she's black. No, you're not. Mm-mm. Because you is biracial. You mixed. Don't say you are black, okay? Because you are not black. And then suppose they encounter somebody white. Okay, they saying, okay, I'm mixed, I'm mixed. They encounter somebody else because they don't even know who they is, so they don't have a solid foundation where they believe that they know who they are. Somebody say, oh, you mixed? No, you not. Your mom is black and your dad is white, and you was raised by your black father and black mother. Then you're black because that's who raised you. And then now the person all confused because they don't know who they are. And I always wanted to have this conversation. Well, I've had this conversation before, but since Amber Rose posted that, that's why I'm talking about it. Because I just don't understand these conversations. I don't. And then for the person that left the comment saying that, oh, we need to understand that mixed race is a race of its own. Where? Because as one who worked for the census, yes, I worked for the 2020 census because I don't know why. Well, not know why. I was like, when I became a citizen, the first thing I gotta do is work for the census, and I just happened to become the citizen a year prior, which was 2019, and the census was 2020, and I always wanted to work the census for I don't know, whatever reason, because that was not easy, because you had to do all this walking, and then it was during C19 where you had to be interacting with different people. I wasn't scared anyway because I was already working at the homeless shelter with the homeless people, so that was no difference. And I never caught C19 anyway. So you telling people to say mixed race is a race of its own? No, it's not actually. So when you go into legal stuff, governmental things where you have to fill, especially for the census, because the census, they gather information about the population and they put them together. That's how they do statistics and different things like that. So I worked for the census. I worked for the census all the time. The census was happening. I was out there working for the census. The paperwork, when they have race, there was nothing that said biracial. There was nothing that said mixed race. So yes, you can raise your child as mixed race, but you also need to let them know when they filling out certain information and they have to point out their race. There is no such thing as a mixed race. And I even had this long conversation with this Hispanic man, and then because you have to read out the answers, meaning the question, the choices that they had to pick, and you would tell them, when it comes to race, are you black, are you white, I think it was Pacific Islander, but there was no mix and there was no Latin because the guy was upset. He's like, "How you guys don't have Latin as a race? You guys trying to erase us?" I was like, "Sir, I just work for the census. I don't know nothing but that." I was like, "You can pick other because the only if you're not black, white, or Pacific Islander, then you gotta pick other." And he's like, "I'm not gonna pick other." I'm like, "Sir, okay, you want to leave it blank? Because I don't have anything to do with that. I just work for the census. I just try to make some money, take care of me, and my kids." So the guy was upset. He had this long conversation. I need to leave. He right there going at it with me because there was no option for the Latin race. And then also there was no option for the mixed race. So now we in the census we have dem, a large population of people that don't know whether they're white or black because people keep on telling them but they are. Like I encountered several mixed people, people that were mixed with black and Hispanic, people that were mixed with black and white, people that were mixed with black and Indian, and then it would pain me when I asked them, do you what is your race? And then you would ask them, are you black? And then they always make a face and or they do like, no. Are you white? No. And then when there's no other choice, then I said the other choice is other, and then they reluctantly have to choose other. So being a mixed race is not actually a race. For all you guys who pushing that out there, that's not actually race. Now, if you wanted to be a race, instead of trying to tell people what they are, you're not black, you're mixed, you're not white, you're mixed. Then you need to go in spaces where you can change policies and paperwork. So if that's what's gonna make you happy, so you can so all the mixed and biracial people can stop identifying as black when they're not black, when they can stop identifying as white, and when they're not white. If that's gonna make you happy, go in spaces like that. Go in those spaces where you can change policies and laws. If that's gonna make you guys happy. But mixed race is not actually, and that's like a societal moniker. That's what society is telling people. But I'm telling people, you got to know, even if your mom and your dad never took the chance, never took the time and tell you who you are, you need to know who you are. But that's one thing. That's why the best place to know who you are is in God. Because God, when God say you're a child of God, you're a child of God. That's it. He's not going to tell you, oh, you're a child of God, white person. You're a child of God, black person. You're just a child of God. Ain't no distinction. We ain't no different and stuff like. Ain't nobody higher and lower than. We all child of God, unless you're the child of the devil, because he told the difference. Here is the child of God, and here's the child of the devil. That's the only thing. But it's here in society. You're telling people who they are. And if you are a parent and you have a mixed race child, you raise your child how you want to raise them. But you need to, whatever, how you going to raise them, drill it in their head. This is what you are. Don't let people come and tell you who you are. This is who you are. If you are mixed, that's who he is. Don't let nobody come and tell you, say, oh, you can't identify as mixed because you were raised by, oh, you're a white mom. You are a white person. Okay. And a lot of times, what I've noticed too, people who are pushing, say, oh, the mixed people, they not black, don't stop classifying them as black. Sometimes, people speak from where they are. I always say that people speak from where they are. And sometimes it's because people who pushing this, they could have been hurt in a sense, like there was opportunity that they were supposed to get, and then they had like a biracial friend, a mixed friend, or maybe a classmate, and then they got that opportunity and they didn't. And from then, they never liked it. Light skinned people, they never liked it. There are people like that. They don't like mixed race people because they felt that they were wrong. And from fifth grade, from third grade, from middle school, from high school, they've been holding on to this resentment, to this frustration. Sometimes you're frustrated every time you think you did something good, and you always overlooked, and somebody else that's much lighter than you, have, whatever, whatever beauty aesthetic, and then they pick that person over you, and this person has been mad ever since, and they just happen to get a platform, and then they push in this narrative, because a lot of these narratives, oh, stop claiming mixed race people as black. Who cares? If the person okay, they have another colored parent. If they have a white parent, they have a black parent, but the black parent was who raised them. They never knew their other side. Why would they ever identify as on white? Why would they ever identify as mixed? And sometimes in certain families, if they ever were to say, "Oh, I'm mixed, I'm not black," that's a problem for them. That then they're gonna have, you never gonna be able to satisfy people, because the people in the family gonna say, "Oh, now you think you better than people just because you got your mom is white, or your dad is white, your mom is Hispanic. You think you better than us? You damned if you do, you damned if you don't." You can't never ever ever please people. You have to know who you are. You have to know who you are, and it's best to know who you are in Christ, child. I'm like, oh, what's race your race? I'm a child of God. That's the race I am. I'm the child of God race, because that seems, yeah, that's true. That's the only thing that seems not to get in trouble, because if you mix, and then you look how that young lady passed away, Miss Jackie O. Her mother was white, and her dad was black, but her black dad was the one that raised her. Of course, you're going to say she's not black, because she has parents that are different races, even though her dad, uh, raised her. But I don't know how she identified anyway. But I also, and then the thing is, what people don't even consider, mixed race people can't look in different type of ways, literally. There are some mixed race people, because people always have this mindset that people who mix race, they're gonna come out probably looking Hispanic, or with looser curl hair and different things like that, but not knowing there are some mixed race people that come, they because being black, we have dominant genes. Sometimes the child may come out looking more light skin, like a light skinned black person, or mixed race people come looking different kind of ways. And then plus, certain people, their families may have had like a lighter skinned person, and then two black people come together, and then they have a child that looks mixed race, but that child has two black parents. So if you're just looking at the way people are, and saying, "Oh no, you, oh, you black, you should," and then the thing is, when the person comes from two black people, and then they look like they mix, and then they ask them, "Who are you black or whatever?" And then you say you have two black parents. "Oh no, you probably have some type of Indian in your family. Mm-mm. You probably have Hispanic. Two black people make because black people can't make beautiful kids. Black people can't make kids with looser curl hair. You can't never satisfy people. You can't never satisfy anybody." Like I said before, some people just pushing this thing because they speaking from their hurt. From their hurt, they were overlooked. Somebody that was probably lighter than them, or sometimes the person who was mixed race, light skin, was mean to them, were actually mean to them, doing all kind of mean and derogatory stuff for them ever since they had a disdain for mixed race people, biracial people. And then they got in spaces that didn't like mixed race and biracial people. So a lot of times these stuff they started off from a place of pain, frustration, anger, because y'all since every time we let these people in our space, they taking up all the opportunities. We can't never get all the opportunities. They taking all our men. That means that man was not for you. That means that opportunity was not for you. You don't even want to be in a space like that. If you're supposed to get this opportunity, and then they pick somebody over you because they more beautiful, or their hair is more presentable to whatever they think, why would you even want to be in a space like that? Why would you even want to be in? Because you're gonna always to be in a space like that. You're gonna always have to prove to them why I should be here. Why? So I saw that post from Amber Rose, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Yeah, a lot of people probably not gonna agree with me because they like I never follow what people say anyway. I just look at the logical side. You have kids. You happen to be a black man and a black man, a white woman, or a black man, Hispanic or whatever, a white woman and a white man with a black thing, two different races. Y'all need to come together and figure out how y'all gonna raise your kids and give them an identity. Because now you have two races that have come together, two different color people. You need to focus on how you're gonna raise your child. Because if you don't, then the world will tell them who they are. And that's why a lot of kids get confused because they never know where they belong. I'm not white enough and I'm not black enough. I'm mixed. And then when I say I'm mixed, people think I think I'm better than them. You can't win. You can't win. You can't win at all. You have to have these conversations because I had this guy that I dated. His mother was white, and then his father was black, but the father didn't stay in the picture, so his mother had to raise him, and she just happened to get remarried to a white man, and then they moved to an area that was predominantly white, and he had a very very hard time. He had a very hard time. Because the school that he went to was predominantly white, so he used to go into school, and then they treated that boy so bad. They would not, when they doing certain activities, they would exclude him and say he doesn't deserve to be there. They would be writing, say you 50% white, but you're 50% NIGGA. They would write that, spray that on their houses and stuff like that. And then we trying to tell the mom, you know, this is what I'm going through. The mom was like, I don't think Miss Robbie would do something like that to you. She loved you. Look how when I came to pick you up, she was so nice to you. Why would she do that to you? Why would she exclude you? You don't even believe it, your child because you cannot relate because you're a different color. That's another thing. We have to consider all these things when we choose to go into interracial. We have to think about the children. Let's think about the children. Yes, I understand. You got your man and you got your wife. Let's think about the children because these children end up being confused. They don't never know where they belong, and then they tend to take up all different. So when people tell them, "Oh, you this," they take up that personality. Oh no, you that. Then they take up that personality. They don't know who they are, so they have all different type of personalities, which may turn into mental health issues because nobody care to tell them this is who you are. Oh, thank you, girl. What is wrong with you? Oh my goodness. So the thing starts at home with the parents, and then if your parent did not do it for you, you find your own identity. You will never ever ever be able to please people. Even when you're doing whatever you're doing, like doing something on YouTube, you do a video, you're gonna find people that agree with you, and then you're gonna find a bunch of people that don't agree with you. Can you ever please people? Can you ever please everybody? No, you can never please everybody. Even go look at God. Can God be? Because he did this. There's some people that appreciate God, and then there's some people that say, "Oh, why God can do this? Why God couldn't do that?" Idolatry. So you're never gonna be able to please people. So you have to know who you are. That's point blank. Period. Tony Gaskins. You have to know who you are, because if you don't, the world will tell you who you are. Who you are. Okay, and like this, there is no such thing as mixed race because it's nowhere in, especially in the census. Because census A lot of people use the census for a lot of data and a lot of statistics. There's no mixed race. There's not even Latin. Just like the man was upset because they didn't have Latin as a choice in race. That's not even in there. And nothing because I had to go veer off. When I was doing the census, the black people was the ones who give me the most problems. Why y'all give me the most problems? I don't know. Because we 3 years into that budget is a 10-year budget. They collect those data so that they know how much money to send to your city for schools and for daycares and stuff like that. A lot of y'all never wanted to fill out those paperwork. Never wanted to fill out. I see y'all have 5 kids in your house. You say it's you, so you're the only one who lived there. So now, when you don't have certain resources in your city, in your town, you complaining, it's because of the census. They use that census to give the federal government to give money to the cities and the municipalities and the villages. But since y'all don't want to fill out the thing, that's why I don't even know if I'm going to do census another year. I mean, after 10 years, I don't even know where I'm going to be. Probably not, because that was very hard. But just I had to ride. That was so off topic, but I had to say that. So I think that's what I say on this topic because it's late and I need to go to sleep because I had a very long day. And people was talking. You see, I'm talking for like 30 minutes. I was sitting there for hours just talking. I'm tired. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.